Jenny and our buddy Dan Miller from Fox 2. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're amped. We're jacked up like spider monkeys right now for Sunday, man. It is on. It is on, Dan. 2 in a row with playoff teams. This is weird scheduling.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the same two teams that you started the playoffs with in the same building that you had last year, it's not happened very often. I think 4 times in NFL history. So, but you know what? It's also a great to just kind of see where you're at. I mean, that was a really good Rams team they beat on Sunday night. This is a really good Bucs team coming in. These might be 2 division champions. We'll see. But you know what? You figure out a way to get them, and they figured out a way to finish that game against the Rams and got to Monday, felt better about it, started getting ready for the Bucs, and that's the name of the game, just win and get better.
You always hear the saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Obviously, it's a long season in the NFL, and with the starters not playing in the preseason, as a lot of teams are wont to do, a lot of that game last week was, I don't want to say tune-up, but definitely getting up to game speed. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I think, they said that there were some things that didn't exactly go as they anticipated, and I think sometimes you said the speed of getting out there and playing a team can be a little bit jolting, and I think it might have been for both teams. I think it was around the league. I think if you looked around the league, you saw that scoring was down, passing was down. That'll even out. Teams will get going. The Lions will be better this week than they were last week, and I think most teams around the league will be. So you just figure out a way, whatever's in front of you, wherever you are in your evolution of becoming whatever you're going to be, just find a way to win. I mean, it's the same in all sports. Just find a way to take care of whatever in front of you, and then you get time to go back and go over the tape and get better and improve things. But whatever the speed bump is that you're trying to get over, then just deal with it. And that's what they did in this game. And I think that's the great thing. I mean, it's either way, whether they won or lost, they were going to go back and tear that tape up and look at it and see how they needed to get better. But, man, it's a whole lot better to go to work on Monday when you win a game than it is to go back and say, hey, it was just one and we lost and we're going to bounce back. It felt better here on Monday than it did in L.A., I guarantee you that.
Is it a different vibe at Allen Park? And not the SOL thing, because we're done with that. We're past that. You've said it a lot, Dan. We're done with the SOL thing. But the mindset, like, they know they're a good team, and they've got to get it right because you don't get these opportunities all the time as a franchise. So you better make damn sure that you take advantage of it this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. Now, I don't know that they take the full year look, but I think they take a day-by-day look. They know they're good. They are good. I mean, you win 8 out of 10 to close 2022. You come back, win 12 last year, 2 playoff games, get to the NFC Championship game. People think you're a Super Bowl team this year. There's no hiding from the fact that this is a really talented team that is capable of getting to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl. But, you have to temper that with everything that has to happen every single day. It's such coach speak, but it's true. I mean, you really get better every practice, every rep, every meeting, and it's so much easier when you break that life down into those small increments versus trying to think, oh, my gosh, we have to, win 2 games or 3 games in January just to get to February. And the only thing in their lives, and these guys have been living for a long time, is Tampa Bay. That's it. They're not thinking about anything else. And if they are, they're doing themselves and their team a disservice. So it's much easier just to take it step by step, and the more you do that, the more that you have a chance to look up at the end of the year and say, hey, we're in a good spot. Let's take that next step, and it's a big one.
Dan, what's the latest on Jameson Williams' ankle injury? Do you think he's going to play, and will he be 100% on Sunday?
Yeah, I think J-Mo will be okay. I think they got some other guys that we're going to have to wait and see. I haven't seen a lot of Panay this week, so I think find out what the nation is on him today. Melifonwu, probably the same thing. And the good news is DJ Reader should be back this week and ready to go. But I think J-Mo should be good. He came back and played the rest of that game after that ankle. So whether or not he's 100% or ready to roll 100%, we'll have to wait and see. But I think he's in good shape and ready to go.
This is a fantasy football nightmare. If you pick a Lions player, there's so many weapons on this offense and it's the most first world problem ever, Dan Miller, that you never know who's going to hit between Laporta and J-Mo and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Montgomery, obviously, and then you got Gibbs. There's so many weapons on this offense to try to spread it around evenly has got to be impossible.
Yeah, from a fantasy standpoint, that's a pain. From a real life standpoint,
it's a good problem.
When you have a game,
Right?
when you have a game that's like the other night where, you're not getting a huge night from Amon-Ra. Laporta's not having a huge night for most of the evening. Then all of a sudden you look up and you say, okay, well, we'll lean on J-Mo and we'll lean on Demo and Gibbs will chip in here and there. So, I mean, it's for Ben Johnson, it's a great thing. And, I know it can be frustrating if you're trying to figure out who's going to score points for this team. And I would wish you the best of luck in doing that because they have a lot of guys that are capable of doing it. And I think it's going to be difficult to do. But they've put themselves in a position where they have a ton of weapons, and those weapons put them in a good position to, adapt to whatever's happening around them and whatever somebody wants to take away from them, because they're always going to design something to take something away. They have an answer for it. And I think that's the mark of a good team, is just be able to adapt to anything that's happening in front of you and deal with it.
As you're prepping for Tampa Bay, what are you seeing? Is it Baker Mayfield? Is there something maybe we don't know as just the casual fan watching the game on Sunday that we should look for?
Just a good team, man. I mean, I'm telling you, they're a good team. There's a reason they were in the second round of the playoffs last year. Mayfield's playing with a ton of confidence. They have two big-time, big play receivers in Evans and Godwin. They got a couple running backs that can move the ball. Vita Vea is one of the best interior defensive linemen you're going to find, 347 pounds. It's
big boy.
Going to be a long day for Frank Ragnow. I know he loves these opportunities to go against the best, but it's a big challenge to deal with him up front. They want to run the ball. That's a problem. But this is a team that should definitely have your attention. They are, coming into this season with a lot of the same thoughts as the Lions. They had a lot of success last year, and they feel like they can build on that this year. So it's another playoff type matchup with a playoff type team that's going to take their best to go out there and find a way to win. It should be a lot of fun, but it should be a heck of a test too.
Who are you featuring a pregame on Sunday? What stories can we look forward to?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We got a lot to talk about with TJ and Birchie and Wojo and talking about this game and obviously the passing of Joe Schmidt this week, who's one of the Lions' all-time greats, and we'll have a piece on that as well. I know a lot of people may have been born after Joe Schmidt played, but go back and just read some of the things that he accomplished in his career, not just as a player, but 6 years as a coach for the Lions, taking him to the playoffs, a Hall of Famer, NFL, first 100-year team. He was on there as well. So, I mean, just really one of the franchise's all-time greats, and thoughts go out to his family, but what an incredible legacy he left behind in the NFL. And so we'll talk about that. And just get ready, man. It's good. It's nice to be home again and nice to be in front of those fans in that building and know it's going to be electric and can't wait to get out there on Sunday. And, Tigers playing next door, so it's going to be electric downtown.
So if you're going to put a final score in this game, Dan Miller, what would you say?
Nobody wants to hear me put the final
I had to
score.
try.
If I tell you the Bucs are going to win, then I'm a jerk. If I tell you the Lions are going to win, I'm a homer. Here's what I'll say: Lions play well. They can win this game. They just have to play this game. Don't make the kind of mistakes that makes it easy for Tampa Bay. I think Detroit's the better team. We'll see if they go out there and prove it in this one. I'm excited about it.
He's going to give us a score one day, Donnie. It's going to be magical.
No, he's not.
It's going to be magical.
He's going to sidestep like this.
I learned that a long time ago.
I will run across the Gordie Howe Bridge before it's open, buck naked, just screaming, so happy, man. Dan Miller, appreciate the time as always. You have a great call on the game, and we'll be watching you on Fox 2 as well, and stay in touch. All right, because this is your last home game. Then you guys are heading out to Arizona next week, right?
Arizona, yep.
Yeah.
So let's handle business here and then take care of that one too.
You got it. Dan, you're the best. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
man.
Bye-bye. I tried.
You did.
I tried.
I have to give you that.
Okay.